Hey, thanks for joining us on this edition of Polk Place. Polk History Center and all the things that are going on there during the month of March is what we're going to talk about. And, well, who are we going to talk about that with? Well, that would be Jamison.
Just Jayme.
Yeah.
How are you?
Doing fine. How about you?
Hey, I'm doing great. We're approaching the third month of the year, and okay, it's time for that backslide. Everything can calm down a little bit, right?
Yeah, just a little bit. I thought it was supposed to calm down after Santa left.
I thought so too. It seems like, however, it just got busier and busier and busier, which is good.
Yeah, I kind of wonder what happened. We were going from 10 o'clock tapings, now we're doing noon tapings.
I know. Well, you know, it's because I have all of these field trips that want to come visit, but I tell them, I say, whoa, whoa, whoa. Brian Lacey's still got to have some time with me during the day to talk Polk Place. And the kids go, yes, Brian Lacey, we understand. You have a little following of little people.
And now I'm going to do my Simpsons. Excellent.
Mr. Birds, does that make me Smithers?
I don't know.
So.
All right, so we got, it looks to be like a limited calendar event during the month of March.
But big.
31 days, but,
yeah.
you know, but lots of stuff.
Yeah, so we will kick it right off with that first weekend in March. If you've not been in Bartow during the first weekend of March, full weekend of March, it is Bloomin' Arts, and Bloomin' Arts is a juried art show that has 50 plus years here in Bartow. So we're super excited. And about 4 years ago, we started, I always say we, I'm not an artist. I'm a historian, but we launched a project at the History Center to coincide with Bloomin' Arts called the Festival of Writing. You might remember it from last year because it had to go on the road.
Yep.
Yep. So because of the construction last year, we had to move the Festival of Writing to the admin building here, which was great. It was fantastic, but we're so excited to have it back in our building. And you might recall the Festival of Writing is a collaboration with Southeastern University out there in Lakeland, and they're writing students. So these students might write poetry, they write short stories, but what they do is they come to the History Center and they find an exhibit or sometimes an individual object that inspires them, and they write a poem or a short story about it. And if that wasn't creative enough, then they go and design a poster format for it. So, you know, let's say if it's an exhibit about phosphate, there might be some bones or something on the poster. Or if it's an exhibit or a poetry about nature, there's flowers and that sort of thing. So it's this wonderful collision of creativity, both on the writing and the visual side. And they are on display. It starts on March the 7th with Bloomin' Arts, but they stay up all month until they move to Southeastern. And it's kind of like we get to display some of the History Center out at Southeastern.
Is this thing our boy Miles judged?
No.
Or is that something different?
That was something different.
Okay.
So we also, thank you for bringing it up. Last month we hosted the Polk County History Day. Yeah. And we were so fortunate. Miles Vance, who's with the PGTV group, came and he judged one of the categories because these are middle school and high school students. And they present on a historic topic, and they can either write a paper, they can make a website, they can do a performance of sorts, or they can do the standard, you know, that threefold board.
Yeah,
that you know,
like what we used to
Mom,
do.
I need it. It's 10 o'clock the night before or whatever.
Ma, where's the meatloaf?
Or they could do a documentary. So Miles was very kind to come over and volunteer and judge some of those documentaries. I don't know if it made him too powerful. I don't know what he's been like since he's been back at the office.
He hasn't really said much.
He must have been deeply moved by some of the projects. But that was fantastic.
I know he moved from the History Center back here to the office. So
for some people, that's a deep move, walking back and forth between the two. But it was fantastic. We had students from Dundee, students from Lakeland, students from Bartow, students from Winter Haven that participated in that. And the kids who get first and second place in their categories get to go up to Tallahassee in June and compete in the state history fair for an opportunity to go on to the national level. So it's just this kind of cool progression of seeing these kids really passionate about history and talking about things pertinent to Polk County or the state of Florida, and furthering some of the research and understanding for that.
So what other cool stuff you got for us?
What other cool stuff? Well, of course, the cemetery tour. So March the 7th, the same day that Bloomin' Arts opens up, we have our Oak Hill Cemetery tour. So you can come join me for the cemetery tour at the History Center at 9 o'clock. We'll walk down to the cemetery, and by the time we come back up, Bloomin' Arts will be in full swing. So you can stop through and check out some of the juried art or the quilt show. And then on March the 21st is the architectural tour. And this will be the first architectural tour with my new program companion, Amanda. You haven't met Amanda yet, but we got to get her on the show. She has a full 8-piece, 9-piece, I don't know what it is, I saw it the other day, 9-piece Pioneer costume that she's going to wear.
Wow.
Yeah, so she's going to lead the architectural tour for the first time. So all of you that come for that, you know, smile and be very welcoming.
Smile away, boys. Smile away.
Because, you know, there's always those little bit of nerves when you do something for the first time. But she's going to be fantastic. And I'm going to be on vacation, so I'm not going to be worried about it. But she's going to do a wonderful job. Yeah.
Feel your pain.
Yep. So, and then our favorite librarian, of course, has her genealogy speaker series at the end of the month on March the 28th. And this one is really interesting because it is all about determining fact from fiction, right? So when you are looking at your family tree, it's very fun to say, oh, my family came over on the Mayflower or whatever, because that's what's always been said in your family. It's another thing to go into the records and the documents and look it up. And I think sometimes what ends up happening, and I hope part of what the speaker will address, is that can be really hard. If your family has believed one thing for X number of generations and the documentation doesn't support it, how do you reconcile that?
It's like the Mayflower might have been a cruise line, slightly bigger than what we were taught.
Yeah, right? It's like with a Lido deck with all-you-can-eat pizza.
Did you say pizza?
Pizza,
I eat pizza.
Really like pizza. But yeah, so that'll be March. Now, of course, if you have kiddos that are in Polk County Public Schools, spring break, I believe starts on March the 13th, and we're open Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 5. So if you're looking for something inside to do during spring break, we invite you to come on down and check it out.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, a good way. We have had a lot of repeat young student visitors this year. That has been really nice. They've come on a field trip, and then they've brought their family back. They've said, we want to go see more or go check it out. And so that's been really nice to see. And then actually, in February, the farmers market was really busy in Bartow. We had a lot of families come in to visit. And my favorite part of it is when one family member who is more experienced, we won't say older, more experienced, can share their personal memories of an event. So let's say they're looking in, for me, it would be looking in the World War II gallery and then having the opportunity to talk to my grandmother who remembers Pearl Harbor and can tell me, yeah, I remember hearing about it. I was at home that day. They lived in Arkansas, so you know it was kind of interesting for her perspective of what was happening. And then her husband, who would become her husband, was serving at the time. And so that takes the history that we have on the walls and makes it personal for someone. So if I could ever give anybody any advice about visiting the History Center, is bring multiple generations with you. Bring the little ones, bring yourself, and bring someone older than you so you can see those 3 different perspectives as you visit the museum. It's
funny that you say if they come as a child, then they return with the family.
Yes.
Eric from Circle B.
Yes.
And Nature Discovery Center fame talked about Water Wings and Wild Things. When children come out for the event, then they bring back their family.
Yep.
So it's kind of the same thing, you know.
Yep.
We have some really cool things family-wise for the folks in Polk County to come check out.
Yes, plenty, especially, you know, through the Parks and Natural Resources Division, whether it's any of the trails, the resource centers, Circle B and the Discovery Center. it's just fantastic what we have in this community that's free for our residents to participate in and enjoy. I mean, just getting out on the trails in general and getting to see wildlife and see preservation in action for those trails. And then you can come to the History Center and the air conditioning and learn about the history of those trails. Speaking of which, we are getting ready to open and debut a new trail. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
So there is the extension trail now that goes from Fort Fraser Trail up to the Lakeland Recreational Trail System, and it's the Holloway Family Extension, goes right in front of Orlando Health. They're getting ready to cut the ribbon on that and make it official, but at the same time, we have been working on the back end of Fort Fraser Trail to refresh all of the signs on there. So when I come back in April, we'll probably be able to talk about what that looks like. That's the teaser. Is that what it's called in the biz? Yeah. That's your teaser. It's coming. So if you're seeing some changes and you're seeing some things being ripped on the signs being taken down on the Fort Fraser Trail, it's because some new signs are coming in.
Very cool.
Refresh, just like your studio.
Yeah.
I got jealous. I was like, I need a refresh somewhere.
Well, we got anything else?
That's about it. You know, we're just going to roll right into all of the spring festivities. But again, don't sleep on that SEU partnership, the Festival of Writing. Please come down and see that. It is some fantastic artwork and language work.
Well, as always, it's great to see you.
Thank you. Can I come back next month?
You got a standing invitation. 10 or 12, whatever you make
whatever.
it.
I'm just going to start dropping in whenever I feel like it.
Exactly.
Be careful.
Can't be here on time. Get here when you can. Let's see you next month.
Thank you.
Polk County has a rich history and heritage, and the Polk County History Center continuously is thinking of new ways to help Polk residents experience that history. Located at 100 East Main Street in Bartow, History Center is open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. More information about exhibits, events, anything like that, check them out on the web, polkhistorycenter.org, or give them a call, 863-534-4386. If you enjoyed that episode of Polk Place, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and even check out the next one.